Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from. And I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And today, I just want to go into, the old and the new covenant, because, there's certain people that's saying, that we're currently in, the new covenant, which is false. So, I'm just going to go into it. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. And I'm going to start in the book of Genesis, chapter 17, and this is the old covenant. And it says, and when Abram was 99, and when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the mighty power. Walk before me and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between thee, and I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Yahweh talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between thee, and I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee and their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. Slakia. Now, verses 1 through 10 is basically, going into that old covenant that the Lord made with, Abraham. His name went from Abram, which, means exalted father, and he changed it, to Abraham, which is father of a multitude, And the Lord made a covenant with Abraham that he would give, the land of Canaan, which is the land of Israel, to Abraham and the children of Israel, That was going to be, that inheritance, part of the covenant that the Lord made with Abraham, And then this will also be, part of that first covenant. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. And it says, And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shalt thou be, blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy storehouse. Blessed shall be thou, blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall cause thine enemies, Verse 7, the Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses and in all that thou settest thine hand to do. In all that thou settest thine hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee. The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy power, and walk in his ways. And all people of the earth shall see thee. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. The Lord shall make thee plenteous in goods, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy ground, and in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers to give thee. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven, to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and bless all the work of thy hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy power, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them, and thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. So yes, pretty much these are the blessings that we would have received, if we would have kept the commandments, which is part of that first covenant that the Lord made with Abraham. He would give us the land of Israel. The other nations will bow to us. The nation of Israel will be, the ruling nation over the earth, yet again. But, we didn't keep that first covenant, our forefathers broke that first covenant. And here's the proof right here. We can go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31. I'm going to start at verse 27. And the title reads The New Covenant. This is Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 27. Behold, the day is come, saith the Lord, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah, the northern and southern kingdom, with the seed of man and with the seed of beasts. And it shall come to pass that, like as I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith the Lord. In those days they shall no more, they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. Meaning if you eat a sour grape, your son, he He won't, taste the bitterness of that grape. Only you will. But, you know, verse 30, but everyone shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge. For behold, the day is come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts, and write in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, for Slakia from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord, for I will forgive them. Slakia, for I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. And that's that new covenant. We will be made perfect. We're going to receive immortal bodies. Israel is going to rule the earth yet again, in righteousness. We're never going to sin again because we didn't keep the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, when we came out of Egypt, So this is that new covenant that the Lord is going to make with us, But we are not under the new covenant. The only person that is under the new covenant is our Lord Yahweh Shai, because he is perfect, He is immortal. He has that celestial, I forget, the terrestrial body, pretty much he's immortal. He can't die. He conquered death. But, that's going to be, the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, we're going to be made, perfect. The nation of Israel as a whole will be made perfect under the new covenant. But we're not currently under the new covenant, Then just real quick, I'm going to go to the book of Psalms. Chapter 82, to pretty much prove that we're going to be gods on earth. This is Psalms chapter 82 and verse 6, and it says, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. And yes, this is going into the nation of Israel, because we're going to be gods on the earth. We're going to be immortal. We're going to have spiritual power. We're never going to die, We're never going to sin again. We're going to be made perfect. We're actually going to be able to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, in its entirety. We can't do it because we're in this sinful flesh. So if anyone is saying that, we're up under the new covenant, they're wrong. And then, just to pretty much reiterate the same thing that's in the New Testament, the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, same thing, a new covenant. And it says, this is Hebrews chapter 8, verse 7, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then shall no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the day is come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind, and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. In that he saith a new covenant, he hath made the first old, and now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. So the old covenant is past because we didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Hence the reason why we're suffering the curses in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 down to 68. That's the reason why we're suffering the curses, because we didn't keep the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. We didn't keep, that first covenant. It was broken. But, this is the second covenant that, we're going to receive, starting with the elect, once they're delivered from, the destruction to come. But, we're not under the new covenant. We're up under grace, because, we have to be, we have to go through our Lord Yahweh Shai, to be saved. So we have this grace period, to rehearse the righteous acts, to show the Lord that, we're trying. And this is the book of John, chapter 1. The book of John, chapter 1, verse 14, and it says, And the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as one of the holy, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bare witness of him, and cried, saying, This was he of whom I spake. He that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. And of his fullness have all we received, and grace for grace. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. So that pretty much, explains where we're at in this current time. We're upon the grace is given through, we're given grace and truth, by our Lord. Because when he comes back, he's going to deliver his elect. That's what he's coming back to do, to destroy America, take down, these other nations, starting with the nation of Edom, destroy Babylon the Great, deliver his elect, and establish his kingdom, and then establish the new covenant. So currently, we are not under the new covenant. We are under grace, So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who our land is true from. And I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Till the next time I say Shalom.